The other day I put an Instagram post up and it was asking you guys what are things that you've learned in your 30s that you would want to tell to someone in their 20s or that you'd want to tell to your younger self in your 20s. Answers on it were amazing. They were so deep, thoughtful, introspective, motivating, and I loved as well that there were some people in their 20s as well that were commenting saying that they were reading these and it was making them feel better and like making them feel, I think, like more even looking forward to their 30s. After reading the responses on that post and then seeing other people's reactions to those responses as well and how they were really helpful, it inspired me to talk more about this topic and delve into things a bit deeper. Pardon me. But I also have to say, like, 30s isn't even old. Like, it's not like this huge, like your 30s is this huge thing. Like, so I wanted to share some of the answers on that post as well, because I think it would be really nice to share them here as well. I won't say names. I don't think anyone would have a problem with it, but just in case anyone sort of wanted to remain anonymous or anything. And I feel like some of them are really good talking points as well. I wanted to start with some of my personal thoughts and learnings, lessons, advice. So I wrote a little list. Things I've learned in my 30s that I want to tell my younger self. The years feel like they go faster and faster. Like, I don't know what it is, but everything just feels like it's going at hyper speed. I feel like I have this like need to really grab onto those moments of like good connection, like being with loved ones, family, or having heart-to-hearts, for spending time with your kids. Also taking opportunities when they come as well, because you never know when another opportunity is going to come around again. It feels like people come in and out of your life faster as well than when you were younger. Like, try not to read into things too much. Like, if something works with someone or it doesn't work with someone, like, that's okay. It served its purpose, and just carry on with your life. And if you're supposed to reconnect with someone, then you will. Everyone that comes into your life crosses your path for a reason. It could be to teach you a lesson. It could be for them to learn something about themselves or to set them on some sort of like trajectory in their life. It could be for you to learn how to open up a part of yourself in some sort of way, or to deal with maybe a trauma that you have, or to simply to like learn how to deal with people in general. And sometimes, you know, like when you get talking to someone random and they'll just say something, and they'll say something in passing, but it just sticks in your head. Like, those things they're so interesting to me. And they're not even thinking that deeply about it, but it sticks in your head. And like that night, you're just like, that makes sense. Wear sunscreen from early. Double cleanse. You don't need 100 different skincare products and everything for your skin. Usually, I feel like if you strip it back to some key ingredients and key products just for your personal skin type, that is fine. Just take some time, like one by one, to find out for your skin which cleanser works good for you, which maybe toner works well for you, a retinol or a chemical exfoliant, and just what your skin needs. Like, and I wish I knew that years ago. Like, I wish someone told me that in my 20s. Like, you don't have to go mad with the skincare. Just strip it back. Like, my skin's so much happier when I stripped it back. This one sounds a bit weird, but speak to random people. Okay, you don't have to go up to like everyone in the street. Like, hi. But say you're sat next to someone while you're waiting to get your hair done or something. Like, it's not, I feel like especially in the UK, maybe we're quite reserved. So most of us are like, I'm not going to make any conversation. But there's been so many times where like I've got speaking to someone and it's been actually really like heartwarming. Like, maybe you listen to a random story that they'll be telling you about their life or their day or something, or they end up giving you, kind of like I was saying before, like a random bit of advice. Or do you know what? I feel like people are mostly really kind, actually, and these days, with where the world has got so individualistic, I feel like it's made us scared to even like break any barriers, any ice with anyone. But mostly I feel like people are actually kind. Obviously you get nutters as well, but an even better feeling is like if you can brighten their day a bit, like give them a compliment about something, or help them, like give them a random bit of advice about something they're going through, and you just come away from it feeling nice. I guess it all comes back to connection. I've just thought of an example of that. So this was a while ago. I was out having a lunch just by myself, a solo lunch, because that day I was filming what I was doing, you know, like out and about. But I was really down. I feel like I was PMSing and I was really emotional about something. And the lady who was taking my order, she noticed, and I thought I was holding it in. Like, I really thought like no one would be able to tell that I was so upset. I was so emotional. And she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "What is it?" And do you know what like warmed my heart so much? Like she didn't have to ask, like she didn't have to care, but she was just like, "What is it?" Like, and let me just, tell her like the thing that I was like overthinking about or like was emotional about. And I really appreciated someone, like, I don't know this woman from a can of paint. And like, but she still took some time, give me that space. I like told her briefly, and then she was like, and then she just proper was like, right, so she was like, with men, like, da, 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 da. And it really lifted me up on that day as well, because I didn't really have anyone else to talk to on that day. Don't take things for granted, because change is always inevitable. I kind of want this to be a positive thing, not as much a negative thing. Like, don't get me wrong, but it could be a job, it could be people in your life, it could be a situation, like your body, your health, anything. Like, I think I'm always practicing gratitude, like every single morning or in the evening. I'd say my little gratitude bit. Don't take things for granted in life at all. Find out what works for you in the bedroom and what works for your body in the bedroom, even if this is with someone else or by yourself. And also find out how to communicate it. Not find out, but like work on communicating that with whoever you might need to communicate it to. That is such a huge one, because it's so important to learn your body, to learn, do you know what I mean? Like what works for you, what doesn't work. Like if you're quite an audio person, or if you're more visual, or obviously touch, or if you're someone that likes to use their imagination more, or if you're someone that, needs more stimuli. That is just huge. And I feel like I did figure that out quite early. But I speak to other people sometimes who still haven't figured that out, going into their maybe 40s, 50s, 60s. So take that time for yourself, because we tend to know our bodies in other ways, like with our diets and us in the gym, etc., but not as much like in a pleasurable way. And I think it's healthy too, if you want to. Obviously, not everyone is into that. Then communicating it, that is something that like I have found tricky in the past, like getting past that shyness of talking about it and like what the other person could do and what you need. But it's really not that scary. Like once you start to communicate it, like usually the other person is very receptive, because they want to like help you out. Having talks as well about it before you're in the act helps a lot as well. Don't always feel like you have to be like in the act and then you feel a pressure to talk about it like all at the same time. So yeah, have those conversations before if you're comfortable having them. Okay, this maybe isn't for everyone, but this is for me. But even though sometimes I still find it difficult, but I feel like I can't be too afraid of being triggered. There's things that I know I still kind of need to work through from things in my past or old wounds and things. And I feel like I can't be too scared of being triggered, because even though it's horrible being triggered, like in any way, how else am I gonna work on it? Like, how can I work on it and try to get through being triggered without being triggered? It's that sort of stepping into the uncomfortable zone. It's okay if you haven't figured everything out yet. It's really okay. Just on random things online, I see so many people in their 20s saying like, I still don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know who I am. And that's fine. Like you're young. Like you're not really, I mean, it's amazing if you do know all of those things in your 20s, but don't worry, because a lot of people don't, and a lot of people don't still in their 30s and, above those ages. Or maybe not even that you don't know who you are and you don't know what you want in life, but those things can change. So like what you think you want to do or achieve or who you want to be in your 20s could change drastically in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And it could keep changing. Also other people around you, like you can't always expect someone to stay exactly the same person forever. And sometimes that can be hard, especially when it's like a family member or something. Okay, so to do with like health, diet, lifestyle, treating yourself, all of that, I really like going by the 80-20. So like 80%, I'm like eating healthy, I'm working out, trying to keep up with everything that is good for my well-being. But I need that like 20% as well. Like if one night I want a pizza or I want a creams or like whatever it is, you know, like I don't beat myself up about still indulging in something sometimes. And I feel like I've just really enjoyed living like that because I've been on the other end of it where I've scrutinized like everything that I'm eating and drinking and counting everything and Okay, now I'm going to share some of the answers that are on the post because I really, really loved these answers. Spend time loving yourself and building yourself before doing so for others, so you have a strong foundation and confidence in who you are. That way you can be yourself around others, even when it is hard to do the right thing, even if it isn't popular. Yeah, so really like building that strong sense of self first. Oh my, I've spoken about this so much on my channel, I feel like. In my 20s anyway, I was so much more of a people pleaser. I'm still dealing with people pleaser tendencies like now, but like then it was definitely more so. And I feel like I would sway myself like depending on what I thought someone wanted or like wanted me to say or not say. First, like learning yourself and like what you stand for and what you won't stand for. It helps you when you do then go out into the world, you're faced with different experiences and situations, and you won't waver as much because you'll know what your morals and your values and your beliefs are more solidly. Decenter men now. Always choose yourself. I've spoken about this before. I do wish I decentered men. I don't know if it's because I went to an all-girls school. Sometimes I feel like it's because of that. Like, because after going to an all-girls school, I came out and I was like, oh my God, boys. Why was I so obsessed with men? Like, I don't understand. I like men, don't get me wrong. Like, I get on with guys really well. I feel like I can banter with guys quite well and quite easily. Like, try not to let men be your full focus, like, of your life. And don't put things on hold for them. Please don't. Or like, because of a maybe. Like, don't put things on hold in your life because of a maybe to do with a man. No, please, like, go live your life. Have fun, go and travel, go on solo trips. If you don't have anyone to go to places with, go on your own. Just go on your own. You teach people how to treat you. Don't forget to set boundaries for your well-being. This is a good one. Silence is okay. You don't always have to have an answer or input. You can simply observe and process things first. I feel like this depends what it is, right? If it comes to maybe how someone's treating you in a certain way, sometimes it's better to take a moment, process things properly, process how you feel about something, instead of being very reactive in the moment, especially if you're feeling emotional at that time as well. So yeah, I do agree. I feel like we don't always have to be so like reactive and so explosive, and sometimes we don't owe an explanation as well. Also, if it's with someone that's toxic, sometimes silence can be better, especially if it's a narcissist. They hate that. Adjust yourself to their absence rather than adjusting your boundaries to accommodate their disrespect. That's it. It doesn't even need elaborating, really. Thank you for that one. Decenter men and focus on nurturing your female friendships. Let go of any competitiveness you feel with other women. You're on the same side and everyone moves at their own pace. Yeah, that's very true. I feel like in this like male-centered world that we live in, it's been in a lot of our upbringings to see, like, I feel like subconsciously, like without us realizing, to see other women as competition or, as a threat. I feel like sometimes there is this sort of unspoken tension between women, which is so unnecessary. And imagine how much further we would all get and how much happier we'd be as women, like if we didn't have that weird tension between each other. And that's why it actually comes back to me talking about the speaking to random people point, because more like the older I get, the more I like to see if I can sort of get chatting to other women, like not in a weird way. It's weird, isn't it? Because I feel like this is like a whole world that I don't think men feel, like they don't understand. I think that this happens in our like women lives. The more women I speak to, like I get chatting to, say if it's on like a random night out or something, like they'll like actually tell me things where it's like it's deep, like they'll be going through something, or you know, they're still dealing with something from their past, or they're heartbroken at the moment, or like whatever it is, and it's everyone's going, you know, everyone's got their own shit. You know, so this is, you know what, I've wanted to talk about this for so long, but I haven't known like how to go about it. But like for me, I feel like I find it quite tricky now, like building friendships, because I feel like I had a lot of bad experiences with women, not even just in a friendship way, but like people in like my family and things from early. Does anyone else have that? I'm like, is it just me? Yeah. I feel like I've had things in my past that has made me feel quite unsafe with women, which is such a shame, because at this age now, I know like there's women that I know, like friends, who I trust them with my life, like, and they mean so much to me, you know. So I'm so glad that I've healed a lot of that, but I still do have that fear a bit from back in the past. Can anyone relate? Would you like me to talk about that a bit more? Because I also want to talk a bit about the whole pick me thing, because I've got a different take on it, which I'd really like to talk about, but yeah, let me know. The level of no cares is bumped up massively in your 30s, especially midway. Yes, it definitely is, and I love it, and it feels so freeing. And like in different ways, I think I'll just say things more like off the cuff now. Or even like looks wise, like so much more now. I'll just go out without makeup on, and I don't care. Like, oh my God, I used to worry about that so much. I don't have time. I don't have time now. I think especially like with school runs and like everything. So that's really freeing. It also helps in the like going on a solo dates thing. And you know what I find really like funny sometimes? This is how like I know I'm like maturing, because there are certain things I just don't like, and I just know, and I'm so like secure in not liking them. And I'm just like, no, like that rubs me the wrong way. I also feel like your gut instinct gets a lot stronger with time, which is really, really helpful, and your intuition. And yeah, I trust my gut much. My stomach's rumbling. Can you hear that? I trust my gut a lot more now, a lot more. And sometimes I still ignore it, and it ends up, and like it always ends up that it was right. Especially about like certain people or someone's intentions, or yeah, I don't know. But I really like tapping into my intuition and trying to strengthen it. Saving. I wish I would have taken my finances more seriously. Yeah, this is a big one. Actually, I meant to talk about this before in this video. But yeah, I do wish that I had become more financially literate in my 20s. The system that we live in and grow up in, like they don't really spend much time, do they? Like telling us how to manage our finances properly and like in the most effective way. I feel like you just have to sort of teach yourself. So yeah, if that is a huge one. Like if you're in your 20s, look into becoming more financially literate, and yeah, saving, putting things into different pots for different things. And that's it. I hope you like this one. I really liked doing this one. Let me know, as always, if there's any other topics that you want me to chat about. It's also nice getting your advices because I feel like from me, I feel there's only so much that I can like give from my life experience, and there's so many of you as well with amazing thoughts and takeaways from like your own lives, and that can help other women in our little community here. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. My stomach's rumbling too much. Bye.